Good morning, LinkedIn. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, the world. Coming up on today's show, I'm pleased to announce we have Elaine Atherton in the building. And coming up after that, we have Mr. Zafran Khan from FSB. All right, guys. Good morning to everyone. Let me just take this screen off. There we go. Great to see you all on this lovely Wednesday morning. Hope you're all having a lovely week. And hope you're all keeping busy. So it's just me, myself, Mr. Andrew Hatcher, live on the Gritty Business Show today with me guests, Elaine and Zaf. And yeah, it's going to be a good show. Plenty going on in the club at the moment. But first of all, what I'm going to do is just to welcome in the new members of the club. So here we go. Let me just hit this VT and let's just run through our last few members. So here we go. Okay, I'd like to welcome Mr. David Torrey, who joined Cobra Thrive a week or so ago. Then Mr. Warren Milburn, who joined Cobra Connect. Mr. John Foy. Then we have Tosca Lahiri, who joined Mr. Zafran Khan's Birmingham Central Club. Then I'd like to welcome Steve Neal, who's joined M40. Followed by Mr. Peter McCallan, one of the best electrician companies in the UK, who's joined RWB HQ. And then Mr. Anthony D'Souza, crowdfunding expert, who's joined RWB HQ. And then Angela Balassi, who's joined Quest West in Bristol. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the Cobra Club. We look forward to seeing you in the club. And let's get you guys on the show here. So as I was saying, plenty going on in the club. And coming up, sort of next week, we have once every month we have the Property Connect event that's happening inside the club. So all those property professionals out there, if you're into property, looking to get into property or construction or any of those trades related to that whole kind of industry, then please do come along to Property Connect. And I'm going to roll this VT now and yeah, give you a bit more flavour about what it's about. So here we go. Fantastic. So there we go. It's the Property Connect event in the club next Thursday from sort of 1:30 onwards. And it'd be great to see you all there, all architects, construction people. Yeah, if you're into property, thinking of getting into property, buying or selling or in construction or finance, whatever it is related to property, come on board. And yeah, it'd be great to see you there. So I want to say hello to Christine. Hello, Christina. How are you doing? Nice to see you on the show today. Best get Christina back on soon. It's always a pleasure to see Christina. And yeah, great to see you. So good morning to you. Okay, so we've got some bit of news in the club. And normally I'll save this feature till later. But yeah, Hero of the Week. And it's been a busy week inside the club. And lots of people have been up to lots of things. So really, I have a Hero of the Week. But first of all, I'm going to play this. Okay, all right. So normally feature on the show every week. We have a hero of the week. So my hero of the week is pretty simple. This one. It is Kath Kirkland, and here she is, lovely Kath, who has run the London Marathon last week. So well done, or over the weekend. So well done to Kath Kirkland, my hero of the week, raising money for well worth charities there, and yeah. Well done, Kath. It's a big feat. So if you've run a marathon or thinking of doing such a feat, post it on the chat, and yeah, let's get you on the show where we can talk about it. I'd like to say hello quickly to Yvonne, the missing piece of your jigsaw, Yvonne Taylor, For You No Worries Limited. Fantastic lady, fantastic company. Also runs the incredible Tantalizing Tuesday event at the Cobra Club. So good morning to you, Yvonne Taylor. Thank you very much. So anyway, guys, what I'm going to do is get Elaine on in a couple of minutes. But first of all, before we do that, let's just hit this button. And when we come back, Elaine will be in the room, he says, looking for the button. So anyway, here it is. Good morning, Elaine.
Hi, great to be here.
Thank you. Welcome to the Gritty Business Show. Great to have you on board. Is this the first live chat?
Well, it is sort of, but I've never been on anything to a StreamYard before. I'm so impressed, and I have to say I'm impressed with your IT skills here, Andy. All very good.
I know there's lots of buttons. There's lots of buttons to hit, and yeah, it's a technical feat, especially when I'm flying solo on this one. But it's all good, you know. It's yeah, I would say to anyone to get into it and give it a go. And once you start streaming live, you never look back, because you quickly realise there's nothing to be worried about. So yes,
maybe you will. I record a podcast, but obviously that's not live. So yeah, so you may have tempted me here, but anyway, all good.
Fantastic. Well, we'll keep it sort of you know, fairly straightforward to start with, and we won't make it too stressful, hopefully. But so Elaine, tell us a little bit about yourself. So what I normally ask the guests is to tell us a little bit of story about Elaine, your background, where you've come from, and you know, the story leading up to where we are now.
Cool. Okay, so I'll give you the edited version of this long story, but I'll give you an edited version. So yeah, basically, and now I'm a sales coach and an accountability coach, but I sort of got here, if you like a lot of us really on our journey, a bit by a meandering journey. And I was in banking initially. So I was in banking for 14 years. Then I left banking, had my 2 children, and thought I wasn't working then. I thought I'd just like to do something that, you know, a bit of extra money, a bit of me time as well. And so I ended up buying a kit with a direct selling company, which most people have heard of, the Body Shop. Well, it's sort of the arm to the Body Shop that used to go into people's homes. So I bought this kit for £130, and I thought, I knew nothing about selling, because banking then was very different. It wasn't about selling you stuff. It was all about customer service, which was was great foundation for me. And so I sort of took those skills with me, if you like. And I thought, well, all I need to do is just tell people about the product. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. No big deal. So I sort of went down that route. Great support, product training, and everything else. And then I just started to grow my business, and my business grew. And nobody was more surprised than me when I think it was 2009, it got to over 1,000 people in my team, and we were turning over £4 million a year.
Wow, and, that's a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, did you have a plan for that to happen, or were you still working in banking, or did you left that sort of?
Oh, I'd left that. Yeah. No, I'd left that. And I absolutely didn't plan. It was as I sort of got going and things were growing more, I started to obviously get more considered about my plan. But ultimately, I just focused on other people's goals. What did they want from the business? I focused on them. I helped them achieve their goals, and in turn, it helped me achieve other things. So it was all. It's all quite. I still laugh every time I say it. Actually, £4 million business. That is slightly crazy, really, isn't it? But anyway.
Yeah. When you think you're not even looking for, it just happened. And like you say, I think the point you take out of it is, you went in to, just make sure that the people that were doing it got what they wanted out of it, which is was that lifestyle, sort of monetary reward, time
of both. Yeah, you're right. It was a bit of both. And I think that was the point of it, which, I started to absolutely realize that someone was driven by money, another person wasn't. It was just about giving them some time in their life, and actually the rewards it gave them and the life experiences. I think that taught me a massive amount about you tap into individuals' wants, and don't assume you know what they want. It's about what do they really want, and how can you help them achieve that, and how can you help them get some of the skills that they need to achieve that, because again, we're all different. We're all massively different.
And as you say, people, even when given the skills, everyone learns in a different way as well, and everyone's after a different slight version of what they call success or happiness. And you must have spent hours and weeks and months and years on delivering that for those sort of 1,000 people. And is that still going? Is the Body Shop sort of arm? Have you just?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When
it's still happening now, yeah.
It is absolutely. When I chose to leave, my business was passed on to somebody else, and absolutely the right thing for me to leave at the time, and no regrets whatsoever. It was time for me to go on to the next part of my journey. Which I did, and ultimately I ended up starting my coaching business in January 2017, and at the forefront of that was exactly what I've just said. It's about tapping into people's individual wants and needs, and not assuming everybody's the same, because we're all different here, and we all want to be treated differently and listened to. I think is the big thing, isn't it?
I think that's the main thing, isn't it? We all want to be heard. We all want to be valued. We all want to be supported, and it is so important. I just want to quickly, I know I posted this up earlier, but Minal, who says, well done, Kath. Fantastic. Have you ever run the marathon, Elaine?
No, I've barely run around the block, actually, if I'm totally honest. I'm more of a walker, and I like dancing, but no, I wish I could. I so admire people who do. So absolutely well done, Kath. That is an amazing achievement. Amazing.
Yeah, done a great job. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Graham, who's one of the SEO experts in the UK. Hello, Graham. Hi, Graham. Good to see you.
Graham.
If any of you guys out there has a question for Elaine about sales or how you go about it or accountability, then please do pop it in the chat, and I'm sure Elaine will answer those as we go along. But you decided to start your new business, which I guess is a continuation of what you've done. So I suppose it's more of a formal sort of setup. And is this To Sum It Up? That's the name of your business, correct?
It is. I'd love to give you some really profound reason why it was called To Sum It Up, but it actually involved 2 bottles of wine on a Friday night, one for my husband, one for me. And we sat there and like, what could I call it? What could I call it? And he said, well, you often say when you're presenting to sum it up at the end. And I do. It's my sort of wrap up. So to sum it up, this is blah blah blah, and then of course I said, well, there's a great double meaning to that. It's actually take your business to the summit and up and beyond. So there you go. The name was created over a couple of bottles of wine on a Friday evening.
Well, that's what it's about. I like your brand, and to sum it up, it captures the spirit and the essence of you and your business, and trying to help all your clients, and let's say the body shop sort of reps, is that what you call it, advisors?
Consultants they call, but absolutely.
Yes. So to sum it up then, so I've been having a little look at your website, and you do quite a lot of different kind of services, and from what I've seen, it's all in the art or pursuit of sales and accountability. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think you're right. And I do offer lots of different services, and some might say too many things. But the reason I like to offer different things to different people is because it goes back to, we're all different here. Some people like to learn by themselves and tap into that. So there's an online program that people can just tap into, and they've got access for as long as they want, which is called 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 days, 10 actions. And then, of course, you've got people who want that accountability and the one-to-one coaching and support. And they're probably more in the place where, the business is established and they want to take it that next step further, or they know they're almost stopping themselves, if you like. They know they're missing something, but they don't know what they're missing. So, and then, we're going to talk about the Make It Happen Hub in a minute. I know, so I'm very excited about that. But it's, for me, it's about tapping in to what people need. And it varies, as we've said, massively as to what people do need. So I like to try and, my programs are created around that, some one-to-one and some group work and some online. So,
okay.
I vary
massively. Yeah, I mean, I thought, in my mind, right, everyone would have the same sort of issue. I want more business.
Well, you're right. Yeah, it's the bottom line is people want more business, but the whole sales thing is like a puzzle, and there are so many different places that you can be losing your sale. And so one of my quotes is, there's more to the sale than the final transaction, and it's a process of things all linked together, and we're not all missing the same piece. So it's easy to say the outcome we want is we want more sales, but actually we're not necessarily missing the same piece of it. And for example, I'm doing a workshop Friday. It's a new workshop, and it's for people who are not being as successful as they'd like with their, whether you call it an exploratory call or whatever you call it, when someone's showing interest in what you have, but actually, you're then having that call with them, and that call, you're getting that far, which you've worked hard to get someone to that place, and then it's not actually coming to fruition. So that's what this workshop's about. So for some people, that's the bit where they're losing their sale, if you like. Other people, it's actually they're not talking to the right people in the first place.
Okay.
They're trying to help too many people, or they're not talking in the language of the buyer. They're talking in the language of their language, that they think this is what people need to hear. And actually, in the buyer's world, their pain points are very different. So,
yes, if you start talking a language that the customer doesn't understand, they quickly turn off, don't they? Because people use it with me, and I'm old school, but I guess it's know your customer. If they're maybe more older, then they're going to use older terminology. If they're in their 20s, they might be using new terminology. So and half the time, a lot of the time, I haven't got the first idea what the person's actually talking about, and then you get to a stage where it's pointless, isn't it? It's
Well, it is. I think the point is which we have to keep reminding ourselves. If that person knew what we did, what we were doing really, really well, they wouldn't need our help, would they? Because they'd know how to do it themselves. So the point is, we have to deliver our messaging in a way that they understand it, because we're looking at it from their point of view, not our view. which would be very different. Jargon is not our friend when we're trying to tell people what we do. It could be seen as a bit of, well, it helps people identify that I know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't make any sense to the person buying if they don't know what you mean at all. And
yes, yeah,
I've got
a question from Graham.
Yeah.
Who says, what does Elaine think about the fab selling process?
The fab selling process.
What the fab selling process is?
Well, I'm going to confess, Graham, you're going to have to explain that further, because there's so many different types of processes, and I don't focus on any other than what I do myself. So that's probably a good one to start with. Enlighten us what FAB stands for, Graham, and I can tell you.
Come on, Graham. Get your tickle stick on it and let us know what the fab selling process, or if anyone else knows what the fab selling process is.
I've probably fallen at the first hurdle here, haven't I? I don't
know.
No,
that's what I mean. Someone comes up with the word fab and it's like, oh, what does that mean? Do I pretend that I know what it means? Or
no, well, I'm not going to pretend. I don't do pretending. It's like waffle's never your friend either in sales at all.
Here we go. Graham's come back to us. So what do you think about the features, advantages and benefits selling process?
Well, it's a great question, Graham. And I think the truth is, isn't it, is the whole features bit is, again, not... If I was looking at it from the point of view of a buyer, I'll give you an example. Years ago, I went to buy a fridge freezer, one of those big American things. And, the guy was telling me all about the features of it. Absolutely made no sense to me at all, because all I wanted to know was the benefits from the world I was looking at. So I like the concept is a great concept. I think we just have to be really asking the right questions to understand what benefits and what outcomes the person is looking for. So when I talk to anybody, and don't forget I'm coaching, so my questions are probably going to be different. Well, they are going to be different from other people's, but I always focus on what outcome is the person looking for, and then we go from there. So rather than it does this, it does that, and does this, it's actually what is that the most important thing for you that you're looking for, and what outcome, and which is obviously the benefit to them, and then we work it from that way. So it's all valid depending on the world you're in, and if you're working with products, it can look different again. But for me, I start with what's the outcome, because that is actually the most pressing thing for them and the thing that's keeping them awake at night.
A moment ago, you touched on. On one of your workshops, it's about sort of, the phone call, the conversation with the customer, and, they might not necessarily be saying the right things to close that sale. Do you find that a lot of people shy away from picking up the phone when trying to secure business, and they'll rely on email, or do you think the crowds you deal with are happy to be on the telephone?
Again, I think that's varies massively, and I think the key for me is you look at your process of what works for you and ultimately what works for your client. And when I say what works, I mean don't do the thing that's the route of least resistance. Actually, it's got to be a real honest conversation with yourself. Actually, does this need a call, or will an email work for both of us at this stage? But particularly when we're on Friday in this workshop, we're talking about the follow-up we've had this, exploratory call. What does the follow-up look like? And the easiest way to get your follow-up right is when you find out what works initially, what's going to work for you and your client. So you've already decided that. So when you're in this exploratory call, you've got your steps in place, and then you're going to say to this person at the end, what are the next steps? And that would always be a call. It's never at the soft touch of, I'll follow it up with an email and we'll catch up in a couple of days is not going to work for me. It's got to be that. So let's agree a call now. I've given you lots of information here. You may want some time to think about it. And again, that could be different because the person might have already said yes on the call. So, but if they haven't, it's securing that follow-up call. And it is definitely a call, not an email. because and you agree the time in, and that's the point. Once you've agreed a time in, you're not going to not do it then, are you? Whereas an email, it can be a bit of a, well, you can talk yourself out of it. It can slip a day, but you know, it's agreed in our diary here. And as a buyer,
I guess it's
I'd be impressed with that.
Agree that date and time, and then it's fixed in your diary. That's what you've got to do at that time, rather than I'll call you next week sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the one of the biggest places of fallout is the follow-up. And, you know, even when the statistics show, and they vary massively, so I'm not going to sort of quote them, but they vary massively, but it is crazy the amount of sales that are lost because people didn't follow up in a timely way, or didn't follow up at all, or just waited for the person to get back to them.
I'm probably guilty of it myself sometimes. It's probably quite an easy thing to slip into. Definitely recommend, if you're out there listening, to go on Elaine's, was it 10-day accountability how does it work?
Well, there's a couple of, it depends on what you're looking for. I think what would make it really clear anyway at the moment, which is good, it's a good time to mention it, is I will chat to anybody and everybody for half an hour on a chat just about anything to do with sales. So, and that's free. So, if anybody's sort of thinking I'm missing something but I don't know what I'm missing, I can absolutely help you identify what you're missing in that call. Because it's the outside view looking in, isn't it? It's very easy to spot something when that's your field. And so, love to help anyone at all. And I just have a link on my website that people can click into and book one of those calls.
Fantastic. Right. So I hear there's some new news in the offing. So I'm not going to talk about news just yet. But so what I'm going to do first is play this little VT here. If I can actually find it. I've got so many of these things. Here we go. Okay, so so we have some news, don't we, Elaine?
We do. And are you going to share it, or shall I share it?
I will start by sharing it, and then you can continue and elaborate more. But I'm pleased to announce that Elaine is coming into the fold within the club, and her Make It Happen hub that she delivers sort of online or on the website is now sort of going to become in the fold within the Cobra Club setup. So thank you, Elaine, and it's great to sort of have you on board as a Cobra Club sort of leader as of sort of next week the meeting starts. And I wonder if you could tell everyone a bit about what the meeting's called, when it is, what it's about, and maybe who should come to this sort of thing.
Fantastic. Well, firstly, thank you for making this happen, and really, I'm very, very excited about it. So it starts next Wednesday, which is the 13th. It starts at 9:00 and it's to 10:30, and it's called Make It Happen Hub because it does what it says on the tin. Really, it's about making things happen in your business, because there's some amazing things about being a business owner and being our own boss. But one of them that isn't quite amazing is that we are only accountable generally to ourselves, and quite often that's where we fall down, because it's very easy to oh, thank you, Graham. It's very easy to have that thank you too, Zafran, is that we sort of say, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, and it's on my list, and then we've got nobody really sort of chivvying us along. So how it will work is that people will get the chance to share their wins of the week, because we don't always get an opportunity to share that either. So there'll be breakout rooms, and you'll be in a breakout room with a group of people. So you share your wins, and then also you've got the opportunity to ask some questions. It could be people's feedback or thoughts on something an idea you're thinking of, or it could be something you're stuck on and that people can help you in that group with. And there'll also be a guest speaker each week who'll be sharing in the first one, we're talking about pricing. I've got Judith Hamilton coming. She's talking about pricing, which is always one of the biggest challenges in business, is what should I charge? So she's going to give some background into that. And there'll always be, of course, as you'd expect, some sort of sales nugget from my great self on something that will help us in business. So that sort of just sums it up, really. But yeah, we're going to make it happen in a good, friendly, positive, supportive way.
Fantastic. And yeah, it's I think it's really positive. It's so important that, you know, we will take advice from such great sales gurus like yourself, Elaine. You know, just everybody needs that sort of support from someone who knows what they're talking about in those kinds of situations, and for you to come on board and share your expertise with the club and everyone else that's going to be coming along to us. I'm just so thankful and happy that you've come on board. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's great. So just to recap, next Wednesday from 9 a.m. At the Cobra Club. If you're a member of the Cobra Club, you can come in through the members lounge. If you're not a member of the Cobra Club, PM or DM Elaine. It'll also be on Eventbrite too, so keep your eyes posted out there, and maybe later on in the week I'll post the link up on here so people can go and book a ticket to it. So just quickly, Elaine, let's say I was starting out in business and, you know, I've never sold a thing in my life, and you know, because when we start businesses, all of a sudden we have to become the salesperson. And it's no mean feat, you know, starting a business and getting into the sales process. But if you had to, let's say, give 2 or 3 top tips on, you know, when you start out and that first part of the sales process, what would they be? Don't answer right yet. Watch this. When we come back, I'll give you time to think about it. So here we go.
Fab. I love in all these jingles. They're just amazing, by the way. So my top 3 tips would be, so you're brand new, as you say, starting a business, is get to really know, and I mean really, really, really know who your ideal client is, because we all sort of can think about, I could help everybody, and we can't. And when we're trying to talk to everybody, we're talking to nobody. Particularly on social media, is very difficult. So you've got to be really clear. So know who your ideal customer is, who it is that you want to help, and whether you're going to niche or you're not going to niche. And that's obviously a choice thing. And then the second thing would be is, and they tie in together, obviously, is what outcomes are these people looking for? And I talked about that just before. It's like, what is it that they absolutely need? What is the thing that's keeping them awake at night? What is it that, you know, when they read it, they think, oh, that's me. You know, that you're talking to me there because you absolutely understand how I'm feeling. So the outcomes have got to be in the language and in the words that person will get, not what you think, you know, in your terminology. It's in their words. So which ties into the third one, is you always got to look at your sales process from the view of your buyer. And you know, one part of what I do is I look at people's website, not because I'm an expert on websites, I'm not, but I look at the wording that they're using, and I'll be objectively able to say that is not, you're telling me what you do, but I'm reading that, and that's not saying the same thing. And it's because we sort of go into salesy speak, if you like, and actually that the buyer doesn't want sales speak. They want to know how you're going to help them, and that's what they're looking for, the words that will help them get the solution to the outcome they're looking for.
Brilliant. Great. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. It's been fantastic. We're way past our sort of time, but it doesn't really matter because I've really enjoyed it today, Elaine. And
thank you.
Just before we get into the final bit of it, we always like to find out a little bit more about our guests and, you know, what makes them tick and who they are and maybe what inspirations they have. So just before we go and we wrap up, I thought I'd play this and see what your response is. So here we go.
Oh, fantastic. Love it. Inspiration when I was younger would have been my mum. Actually, she's no longer with us, but she was a true inspiration. She was a pioneer of her time, and so great sort of outlook and in life, and fun and laughter was always, the best medicine. So definitely my mum. When I went into business, and in the body shop, Anita Roddick was just the most incredible business inspiring person you could possibly meet. So I feel totally blessed that I had that time with her and got up close and personal with her on a number of occasions. And what a character, an amazing lady she was. So definitely Anita Roddick. And currently, it sounds very cheesy, but the people who inspire me now are all the small business owners that I work with daily, weekly. I, talk to them on my podcast and, work closely with them, because it is anybody starting a business. It's not easy, but the great thing is that there is huge amounts of support out there, and none of us have all the answers in business, but the key is finding the person who can help you, or the people that can help you, and surround yourself with them, which is obviously what you do in the Cobra Club. That is absolutely worth its weight in gold. So people have got amazing stories of why they started the business, and mine's not actually that exciting. Mine was just a journey, but some people, goodness me, they are incredible. They've turned something into an amazing business because they saw a real need for it. So great
Brilliant.
question.
I think you're right. It's just as you say, starting a business. If your starting business was that easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah.
And take your point about surrounding yourself with good people, making sure you've got the right people in your life and in your business life, getting those support structures in and those foundations, and gives you every chance of success. And then no, it's brilliant, Elaine. So just quickly sum up then, Elaine, if we needed to get hold of you, how does you have to do free consultation? I know you've got your courses online. How does one find out?
The best two places to find me, the best places, you can obviously go to my website, which is, as you put on the screen there, so you've got that there. You can email me, or I'm always on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn multiple times daily, so if message me on there. But you can obviously, as I said earlier, book a call in. I'd love to get to know more about your business, so feel free to do that. And I'm a bit of I know somebody who knows somebody who can help you, even if I can't help you myself. So I've got a great network.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much, Elaine. It's been great having you on the show today. And true inspiration. We're looking forward to the Make It Happen Hub live at the Cobra Club starting next week at 9 a.m. And we'll all be there. So thank you ever so much, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Wow, fantastic. That was Elaine Atherton from To Sum It Up. Fantastic lady, and a great accountability coach and sales guru. Be great to have her in the club next week. So please do come along if you're a member of the club next Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. Coming up in a couple of minutes, Mr. Zafran Khan. I can see him down in the green room eating those nuts. Hello, Zaf. There he is. So quickly, just before we get Zaf in, I just want to quickly run through just a couple of little things that are happening in the club, which are quite important to say. So where have they gone? Here we go. So we have a couple of rooms happening at the moment. So Mr. Jerry Walsingham from Honey Legal is doing an estate planning and advice session. So every Tuesday, it's just to drop in any advice, questions, anything that you've got related to power of attorney, trust, probate, wills, etc. Pop in. It's free. Just come on into the club, ask Jerry any of those leading questions, and there's no pressure there whatsoever. Also like to give a big shout out to Mr. Chris Cutting, who's doing his CV workshop Next one now is on the October the 14th. October 7th. Are interests relevant? Wow, that's a question for your CV. Are interests relevant? I'll have to ask Zaf in a minute about that one. But anyway, so if you're looking to change roles or just update your CV, Chris is one of the leading CV experts in the country, and advise anyone who's struggling to get their CV over the line can have a chat with Chris. Thank you, Chris. We have Russell's RC accountant, which is now finished, but Russell comes in once a month in the club to answer questions on anything to do with tax and accountancy issues. So please do come on and track down Mr. Russell Silverman inside the Cobra Club. And myself and Ed do every Monday. We can help to strategize with you about your operation or sales, where you're going in your business, and you know, what's it all about, what are the reasons you started. And yeah, it's all good. It's just helping and supporting businesses as they grow or struggling or whatever it is. So that's brilliant. So that's every Monday at 1 o'clock. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do after this VT, Mr. Zafran Khan will be in the building. So looking forward to that. So let's roll this clip, and here we go. Good morning, Zaf.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, all the viewers. Can you hear me okay, Andy, with the sound?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself? Where's Ed today?
Ed's up in London. He's we've got him working hard. So yeah, poor fella. Just send him out on the road, crack the whip, off he goes. Yeah, so he's out on business for a few days, which is good. So I'm running the show. But it's good. It's been great, and you must have watched Elaine there, who was pretty good, wasn't she?
She was amazing. She was absolutely amazing. I listened to her interview, and
yeah, because both of you like Elaine, you know, you're in the sharp end of the sales world, aren't you?
Yeah, and Ed, as well.
Yeah. Well, we all are. I mean, we're all trying to sell our businesses ultimately, but yeah. So. Oh, we've got so much to talk about, Zaf. I mean, you know, Mr. Zafran Khan, the legend himself, FSB guru, Cobra Club leader, and chat show of another show like this.
Yeah, Biz Chat with Zaf.
Yes,
it hasn't been running for a while because I've been really busy with other things, but that's coming back now.
Is it coming? Is it going to come back?
Yeah, because normally I used to run it on Tuesdays, every Tuesdays. So it'll be back on Tuesdays with some other fantastic guests from amazing sectors. So keep a watch out for that.
Good. I've got something in a little bit of time that might tempt you to get it going. It's just like a trip down memory lane, should I say, of Biz Chat. So we'll come to that in a couple of minutes. But first of all, FSB, Federation of Small Business. For anyone out there, I wonder if you could give us a quick overview of what it is and what it does and how it can help businesses.
FSB, Federation of Small Businesses, is a non-profit organization, sport organization that helps small, medium businesses up to 249 employees and all the self-employed. So it's run by the members, for the members. They have a very strong voice at the government level. And we have a seat at number 2, Westminster. So any challenges that business are facing that needs in place, so FSB will sit down. Doesn't matter who's in the government, to obviously outline the problems or future problems that can occur that can help small and medium businesses. So it's their interest, and the FSB's mission is to help your ambition. So whatever your ambition is as a self-employed, as a small, medium business owner, then FSB will tackle that for you. So how can they help is that, just like, for example, if you're a startup business, okay, you're coming straight into the business, you tend to have a lot of skills of what you do, but there are other skills that we're not good at. And the obstacle and the road ahead can be, very challenging, as you know yourself, Andrew, because you're a business advisor and you come across, with those people. So the FSB will hold your hand and take you in all the way. So FSB provide around 16 benefits, and the biggest ones that they provide is employment protection. Okay. And that covers all your HR, all your tax, all your business law, everything that needs done. And then you have a tax investigation protection as well. So if HMRC come knocking on your door, that gives you a peace of mind. But also, apart from those, the biggest one is what me and you doing here is all about networking.
Yes.
And networking is not just simply about picking up business cards, or I should say digital cards, right? And that's it. It's about planting your seeds to further build that relationship. And when that relationship is built, things starts to happen. Sometimes they can happen straight away. So FSB, they do around 120 to 160 network events up and down the country. So when businesses and people come and say that my biggest challenge is I need more clients, the answer to that is and you've said it so many times, I've said it so many times, is that network.
Yeah.
Network, connect with people. 3 things happen from there. A, you're connecting. You're also learning, because they come from different sectors and they've done things which you haven't done. You're thinking, I can take that, and then you're growing with them as well. And that helps your business, that helps your project very, very long way.
I think sometimes and I've seen it before, people come in and they just want things to happen straight away with networking, and for the most times it doesn't work like that. It does take a few times. Well, it's about relationships, isn't it, Zaf? It's unless you need that service or that widget or whatever it is there and then. Otherwise, it's a relationship based. I'll say contact sport, but it's not contact sport. But that type of thing. So it can take time. It does take time, and you shouldn't always expect results straight away.
And the biggest thing you need is patience. You've got to be patient. Like you said, from the offset, things can happen straight away, which is fantastic, but they don't happen all the time. So, you've got to come in, expect to be patient, build that, and then you'll see things start to happen.
Yeah. So Alan Cohen says, "Hi, Alan. Good to see you. Joined the FSB 1 month after I joined Cobra. Thanks to Ed. 2 of the best decisions I made last year." Fantastic. So that's Cobra, FSB. That's brilliant. We joined FSB as well, and like I say, I'm just amazed the amount of sort of services that has to offer within its yearly annual sort of fee. And I'm pretty sure they do cyber insurance as well. You're covered.
You do cyber insurance. Now we have in-house our own FSB insurance, so they can get in touch, and they can have you can go and have a basic cyber insurance, or you can have a premium, but they'll go through of what you need and how much you need of it as well. And it's very important, Andy, especially in this day and age now, of where we are. We're in hybrid now. We're carrying sensitive information in our pockets, hence our mobile phone and our equipment, and they need to be protected. They need to be secured, and especially all those business entrepreneurs that do a lot of businesses online. We've built our business, we put effort, we put passion into it, and the last thing we want is those information getting into the wrong hands because of sensitive information. So as long as we are protected, so cyber is more important now than it was before.
Absolutely. I think over half the world's crimes now are cyber related, or the UK's crimes, which is quite frightening, isn't it? It is getting more technical out there. So advise anyone to speak to Zaf about the FSB. I know for Cobra Club members, and I'm sure that there's schemes and discounts and all sorts of things that Zaf can entice someone into essentially doing a good thing for their business. So that's great news. But so apart from the FSB, Zaf, you also got a Cobra Club, and yeah, I wonder if you could tell the viewers what it is, when it is, how it is, what it is, what it's all about, and yeah, just elaborate
Yeah,
on
I
that.
mean, well, thanks to yourself, Andy. When I first joined the Cobra was, during the mad president times when we didn't know how long we're going to end this lockdown, when this, pandemic's going to finish. Nobody knew nothing, and joined the Cobra Club when he formed back in March, and I joined just end of April, thanks to Ed and yourself, Andy, that introduced, and then being part of the Cobra, and then 4 months later on, come to August of last year, I then decided that, okay, I want to take Cobra, introduce it up to the Midlands. And so then my slot is every Monday evenings at 7:30 till 8:30. Monday Mayhem, it's called. The reason why we call it Monday Mayhem is because, we wake up Monday morning at times and we feel, oh gosh, it's Monday. And it's that. I'd rather be motivated but demotivated. Or you're motivated, but throughout the day, things happen and the demoralization goes down, demotivation goes down, and you need to pick it up. So Monday Mayhem is all about fun, but where things are happening, like we said earlier, connections are being made, referrals are happening. But at the same time, it's about who you are, what you want to do, who can we link you up with, but also what I tend to do, Andy, is I ask personal development questions because I want to know you, who you are outside of business advisor, outside of founder of the Cobra. What ticks Andy, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and so every week I come up with a different question and surprise questions and say, right, you tell me who you are, what you're going to do. We know that who you're going to link up with, what you're looking for, but I want to know, who you are. So I'll have a different question based on that.
Well, that leads us nicely to the next VT, Zaf. So you might recognize this, but it's tell us about your greatest achievements, and you might recognize it from your very own show. So here we go.
You know what? My biggest achievement, I'll say, there's so many achievements, especially over in sales, but I'm not going to go with it. The biggest achievement for me is because the way we had to adopt and change, the way we had to rethink, remodel. And when everything stopped from face to face and we went into the virtual world, and that was a world where, normally I'll come on someone's show just to, do, a little participation, do a little video, and it wasn't more than that. And then when I had to put my message across, I thought, right, okay, I'm not a journalist, or I don't work on TV, but this is how we've got to, get our message across. What do I do? So there were quite few numerous people up and down the country who were doing, podcasts, and they were doing, videos. And I thought, right, normally in sales, Andy, what happens is when you're good at something, you have an ego because you don't want to learn off the other. But successful salespeople like myself and Ed and others, we're always learning. We're always looking for a change. We're always looking a new way. And I thought, well, I'm not good at that. But if I can collaborate with someone, or if I can learn off somebody, then I could put my own spin, my own personality, and take it forward. And then that's what happened. And then it was back this time of last year when BizChat come along. And I thought, right, let's do, a video contents every week where I get, members of through my contacts, whether it be through FSP, through Cobra and other networking events, where people got, business, they got a product, but sometimes they don't know, how to tell people. And I'll say, you know what, well, let's just do an interview. Let's do a show so we can, you can tell us who you are, what you do, how you come onto the journey. And then we can tell everybody of what you do. And that gives a leverage opportunity. And then that's the biggest achievement that I've done in the last 18 months, which I wouldn't have done. If it wasn't for pandemic, okay, I don't think there would have been a video contents out there. Because there didn't be. It'll be face-to-face networking, face-to-face meeting clients, and that's it. Why, the only thing that happened on the social media is I'll put up an odd little clip of video or a picture of a great networking event that I've been to on whether it be on Facebook, LinkedIn, or other social media platforms. But now, Andy, it's part of our job. We have to tell thousands of people, millions of people.
The world's moved on.
So that's the biggest achievement I've done, is created a podcast and called Biz Chat with with Zaf.
Yeah, well, we want to see that that podcast going again, and it's like I say, completely agree, Zaf, that none of this would have happened without the pandemic, and we'd all be carrying on as before. Not that there was any problem with that, but I suppose for a lot of us, it's got us more technology savvy, I suppose, and we've had to push ourselves in technological ways to make our businesses work for us. And I think it's been brilliant. I mean, well, obviously it's been a terrible time with the pandemic and everything else, but in terms of getting people on tech or getting people on video and moving their businesses forward in that way, it just 5 years. It's probably not.
You have to make things happen, and people that make things happen are the people who've gone successful, throughout this period, where they're not good at something, but let's learn. Look at your contact. Look at the people that you're surrounded with, what they're good at, and then take and embrace off that. And that's how you're learning, and that's how people have been successful. That's what you've done. We've created, from a Cobra. We're doing Gritty Business. Remember, when me and Ed, three of us sat down and says, right, we need to, put a message across, and we should do this program, Gritty Business, on Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Around 9 o'clock. Around 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, and now we've taken it, but now it's just growing and growing because it's live on Facebook right now, and it's live on LinkedIn. It's on live on 2 platforms.
And YouTube, actually.
And YouTube, totally. Yeah. So that couldn't have happened if it wasn't for pandemic,
No,
like you said, Andy, is a really bad thing. We're coming through all of this, but we've learned quite a lot as well from it.
Absolutely, Zaf. I completely agree. So quickly, Zaf, we're running out of time as always, but in terms of FSB, how does someone get hold of the FSB or get hold of you? And
they want to, first of all, FSB has been around for 47 in the 47th year. We have over 160,000 FSB members that made up from every sector you can think of. But still, there are people out there who still don't know what FSB is. And I always say, and a lot of my, fellow membership advisors up and down the country will also say as well, is that do your own due diligence, do some of the research to find out exactly what is, FSB, about. And then once you find that, this is something, that's where you can then get in touch with me. And there's 3 ways you can get in touch with me. One, I'm always living on the LinkedIn. Okay, so throughout the day, you can private message me on there. And then you got the email, which is on the screen right now. You can get in touch with me via email, or you can also get in touch with me on my mobile phone, which is just displayed on the screen, and also from the Facebook as well.
Fantastic.
And of course, Cobra. So you can get through Cobra as well for those who are Cobra members, or they can get
Monday
through that.
Mayhem, Biz Chat, LinkedIn, Facebook, on multiple channels. There's too many.
Like you said, Andy, we're living on social platform now. So there's so many avenues you can get in touch with me. So if you haven't, if you come across, if you typed in, Zafran Khan FSB, I'll come up, with myself in my picture, and then we can take it from there.
Fantastic. All right, so normally I'd say goodbye at this point, Zaf, but I thought I'd let you sort of help me finish the show today, and we're gonna run through some of the events. But first of all, first of all, I'm gonna thank Hannah. I'm gonna play this. This little. So thanks for all the content together. Really appreciate that. Okay, a little bit. Was that feedback there? I don't know what that was, but okay, Zaf, you ready for this?
Yeah.
So I'll kick it off. I'll go first. You unmute. Make sure your mic's unmuted, and away we go. Okay. All right. Here we go. So okay. Okay, coming up on Monday morning, we have Monday Mayhem, Monday Motivation. with Ed Williams, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You need to unmute your mic, Zaf.
Then we have Christy Norris in the afternoon.
Fantastic. Yeah, Christy Norris. Next up, Hannah Carrazzo, every Monday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Creative.
And then we have a Monday main with myself, 7:30 till 8:30. Every Monday evening. Come along.
Fantastic. Then the lovely Judith West at Quest West Business in Bristol. Business networking weekly on Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
And then at 12 o'clock, midday, right down the M40, join our Johan Taylor for Tenslising Tuesday. Very fun, very practical.
Fantastic. Then next up, Victoria Woods with Cobra Office. Every Tuesday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m.
And then we have Katrina Ellis all the way up in Jersey for 4 to 5 o'clock and talks all about your title troubleshooters.
Fantastic. Then next up, we have Mr. David Lockett. Puts money in your pocket with the Investment Lounge every Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m.
And then join the what we call the speed networking with Kathleen. Absolutely fantastic. That's from today, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock every Wednesday.
Fantastic. Then later on this afternoon today, from 2 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. Beverly Lockett, Hive Mastermind.
And then you can join Rihanna all the way to Snowdon for Snowdon Summit at the hours of 4 o'clock to 5:30 every Wednesday.
Fantastic. Then the main event, as I call it, Meeting Talents every Wednesday night. That's where it all started. Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Join us.
As we approach the end of the week, on every Thursday mornings from the hours of 10 to 11:30, come to the Cobra Connect and join our Jonathan Floyd.
Fantastic. Then next up we have a Cobra Live link up with Mr. Barry Hunt every Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
And then we have our own Chris Mason, we call it the Digital Guru, every Thursdays 4 to 5 o'clock. Fantastic networking event.
Fantastic. Next up, First Thing Friday, which is First Thing on Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Louise Combat down in South Coast.
And then we have our own fantastic Shane Yates, and we call it with the Let's Go Have a Full Pulse Breakfast every Friday 9:30 to 11 o'clock.
Fantastic. Next up, Alan Cadden, every Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Join the Cobra Express, all based all the way up in Glasgow.
And then all the way up in the Highlands of Scotland, join our Sharon Ritchie, Wine Down Friday with a glass of wine every 4 o'clock till 5:30 every Friday.
Fantastic. We'll see you there. But where is there, Zaf?
Hey?
Where is there?
Scotland.
No, when I say where is there, there is the Cobra Club. www.cobraclub.co.uk. Just another big shout out to Yvonne. Awesome show today, Andrew. Thanks, Yvonne. Fantastic. Great to see you again at the end of the show. Minal's obviously been commenting away. Great to see you on the show today, Minal, who was here last week. Yeah. That's what, in response to what you were saying, Zaf, the questions definitely make you think and look inside yourself. So, yeah, no, well done, Zaf.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And no, it's been a great show today. I just want to thank Elaine. I want to thank Zaf. I want to thank everyone out there commenting and watching. It's just been brilliant. And thanks for all the support within the Cobra Club. Let's keep it happening and make it happen. And talk about make it happen. Elaine's event next Wednesday morning. So
Next
that's
Wednesday morning.
make it happen there.
That, yeah.
Yeah, so come along to that one, Zaf. So that leaves us only with one thing we have to do, Zaf. We have to sign out. We have to say goodbye. So it's been emotional. It's been great. Thanks for coming. Thank you ever so much, Zaf. And we'll see you again next week, folks.
Yeah.
Same time, same place.
Again, take care.
See you
Thank you,
all.
Andrew. See you, everybody.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Take care.
Stay
Bye.
safe. Ta-ra.
Now you're watching me, you're all eyes on me, 'cause I've been living the good life. So come fly with me into my fantasy, and we be loving the good life, good life.
I think this dream now just hit me. Why don't you just go there with me? surf in the skies and splash in the clouds, dance in the crowds and laugh out loud. Holding your hand, unfolding a plan. Two souls in a land like gold in a pan. Float in the breeze or soak in the sea. Come go there with me where we both wanna be. Lie on the beach or fly in the streets. I'm trying to keep this vine in the reach. Putting everything I do aside, me and you are first. We can travel to the very end of the universe. You and me are meant to be divine energy. Living with no rules in a pool of serenity. Come be my fantasy, go away with me. Lock us up in a dream and throw away the keys. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. We need to rise with these new eyes. Pull the disguise off of these blue skies. Lights in the city reflect off the shoreline. When you're living this life, you want more time. Rewind the time, align planets. Ride this comet to a new dynamic. Your eyes on me, mine on you. Living the good life, we do what we want.